All right, next we're gonna do another one, but this one is bumpy. So we're gonna do the same system, circle here, draw the lines, but instead of drawing these lines straight, we're gonna make them bumpy. And then we're gonna think about our stems and not make them perfect. We're actually though gonna start with this little stem. So again, I'm looking at the location. So if I look at this stem, compared to this stem, it would be over in this area. And I'm going to start this time with kind of like a little triangle or a V. Again, sides, curved lines that go up, thin at the beginning, thick at the end. So I'm going to go out and up, and this one I'm going to go up and down. And this one is similar to the stem here where there's a triangle point. So I'm going to bumpity bumps, but make it kind of triangular. And then I want to add a few lines, a few contour lines to help with the effect of the stem. Now I'm ready to do my guidelines. So I'm going to start with a circle here, and I'm just going to do a light one. So this kind of reminds me of like a duck's bill, and this is now the duck's head. And then I'm going to look at where this runs into here. It's right below the stem. So I'm going to put another circle here. This one's a little bit bigger. So those are my guidelines. Now this one I notice goes curvy this way. So I'm going to put a C in here. So I'm going to go in a little bit. Oh, and I just noticed this guy is behind this pumpkin. So I'm not going to be able to draw this other side. We're going to stop here. And I'm going to actually draw this pumpkin, which is not too hard to do. We're going to pretend these flowers are not here, and we're just going to draw a big curved line that goes all the way down to this other pumpkin. So I'm going to start near the top, and I'm going to do a big curved line that comes down and runs into my second pumpkin that I drew. Now to make this look more like a pumpkin and not just a curved line, we're going to add some of these contour lines. So I can start all the way at the top and bring one down. I can have one maybe over here going the other way, like that. Now I can go back to my bumpy gourd. So now these kind of run into here, right? So I have a light drawing of where this is going to go. And now my job is to make this texture, okay? When we draw in art, a texture is a pattern. So I'm going to think about nature and bumps, and I'm going to follow these lines, but instead of making them perfect, I'm going to do some big ones and then some small ones as I make my lines darker. And then this is going to go behind the pumpkin, so we're not really having any there. And then I'm going to put some over here, like that. Now, to continue this pattern and make it look like it's bumpy on the inside too, we can add some details, just some small curves or C's to show where some of those bumps are. So maybe I'll make this bump come around. Maybe there's another one here. A couple smaller bumps in here. I would encourage you to try to put a few bumps on your gourd, but you want to be careful that it doesn't look like it's polka dotted, right? We're not doing perfect polka dots to fill the space. And we don't have to fill the whole thing. That's the nice thing about nature. All right, we're almost done, friends. We have 2 pumpkins left. Let's see, I like to do this smaller one first, so then I can make sure that I fill up this space with this big one. So we're gonna come over here. Now, I don't have very much room over here, but I'm going to squeeze it in anyway. I'm gonna start with my stem up here. I'm gonna put mine pretty close to the top, and I'm gonna put a curved line at the top, and then I'm gonna come down, almost straight down, and then it just curves out at the end. So I'm gonna come down and out. And then again, stems are thinner at the top, thicker at the bottom. See how my line's going out? And then we're gonna bumpity bump it across, bumpity bump, bump, bump across. And then to really help this stem stand out, we're gonna use some of these points and draw lines that go back up. And some of them can be close together, others can be farther apart. Now this pumpkin is similar to this pumpkin. Look at where the top of the pumpkin is. It goes above the stem. So I'm going to start above the stem, and I'm just going to go off the paper. Then I'm going to imagine where this goes, and I'm going to run into my other gourd here. Now with this one, we're going to put a bottom on here. We're going to skip this one, and we're just going to draw a bottom here. You can decide how big you want it to be, but it should be higher than the gourd. So as things move back, they get higher on the paper. So notice where this pumpkin is located. You don't even see the bottom. Here is the bottom of the gourd, and then we're going to put a pumpkin bottom like right here. Again, it's going off the paper. And then to finish it, right, notice the difference between a circle. This looks just like a circle versus a pumpkin with some lines. We need to add some of these lines to this one. And I can look at my drawing here and see that there's a pretty good line that comes right from here. So I'm going to draw a nice big curved line that comes down. I'm going to put one here on the edge too. Maybe I'll put one over here. I feel like I want another one in here. And then again, these, instead of coming all the way down, it's going to come off the side. Maybe I'll have a couple going back, curved. Fun, friends. Here we go. We're going to put a big pumpkin right in the center. So I'm going to put the stem. This stem is a little bit different, but I think it's fun to draw. So, because it's sort of laying down. So we're going to, near the top of your paper, I want you to draw 3 bumps. And remember what we learned about nature. The bumps are not the same. So I have like a big, a medium, and a bigger or a flat one. Now we're going to draw just a small line that comes down and comes out. It's short. See, it's not very long. Same over here, down and out. And then we're going to bump it a bump across. So bumpity bump bump across. So there's my stem. And now I'm going to connect these lines with a curved line. So I'm going to have one that comes down over here. This one's going to come over here. Maybe I'll put one more up over there to help with my stem texture. And then finally, the big old pumpkin. So this doesn't go quite to the top of the stem, but it's pretty close. So I'm going to come down, and then this pumpkin runs into this gourd over here. So I'm going to bring it all the way down. Now I want to put one over here, and it's going to go behind this gourd. And now, because of how I drew this, do you see how you can't really see where the bottom would go? If you have space between any of these pumpkins and gourds, and it looks like your pumpkin's not finished, you might need to draw a bottom. All right, and the final thing we're going to do is add some curved lines. Here we go, making our pumpkin nice and round and plump. Here, I need to skip over and continue. Oh, one more time, skip over and continue down. And I can do a couple that go off the top and back as well. And there we have our pumpkin drawing. The last thing we're going to do is on the back, you're going to write your name and your class code. And then before we can paint, we're going to go over this with Sharpie.